Andrew Clennell, let's go to you now with a look at things. What are we, 3 days to go? Feels like this campaign's been going on for a while now, but what's your, and it has been, what's your view of where things stand this morning?
Oh, you're telling me, Pete. But look, let alone tell the leaders and their staff, their poor staff. But look, I think at the moment you're looking at a reasonably comfortable Labor victory. It may be in minority with 75 or so, or they could even hit majority. The only cautionary thing I would add to that before someone clips this up on election night is when you have all these polls suggesting Albanese's going to win, does that make a few people change their mind before Saturday and go, look, you know, we don't particularly like Dutton, but Albanese doesn't deserve a big win. Let's go the other way. And I've seen that phenomenon before. I've seen races tighten on the way to election day. And certainly the spin out of the Liberal camp is that they can win sort of 10 seats, up to 10 seats, certainly 8. But that's kind of on a good day. But that, you know, that completely would change the parliament and the situation with the government, wouldn't it? Because if they win 75 seats, they're comfortably in government with their agenda. If they only won 70 seats, wow, they need 6 votes from the crossbench. And that is just a different ballgame. And the seat that you're in, McPherson, that's one of the really important ones here, because you could see Peter Dutton pick up a number of seats, but then lose Bradfield to a Teal, Wannon to a Teal, McPherson to a Teal, and that wipes out 3 of his gains. On the other side, Labor really need to win Griffith and Brisbane from the Greens in order to get to that sort of 75 to 77 number, because they will lose some seats, right? So yeah, I feel that there's a strong chance they'll win those 2 seats, to be honest with you, particularly Brisbane, the way it flows, the fact that Labor are preferencing the Greens above the Liberals, for example.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're much more a student than I on this, but I mean, I would agree with you. I think the Greens are definitely vulnerable in southeast Queensland. Here in McPherson, the Teals might need another election because there's still a strong, you know, retiree Conservative vote here. But I've got to tell you, Andrew, and let me know if you've been hearing the same thing. Just in my travels in the last couple of days, I still feel a lot of anger, not just from people looking at their energy bills, but from small businesses, even large businesses as well, that we've had on the program today. I mean, it's struggling to get by. It's almost as if a few people have forgotten about that in recent weeks, but that's still there, and I feel can still influence a vote.
Well, the thing is, small business people are voting Liberal forever. And that's the issue there. And Queensland is largely voting LNP forever. Scott Morrison won in a landslide if his election was only in Queensland last time. So I think that's the issue for Peter Dutton. He's got his own people, although he's been worried about that even than going to One Nation and Palmer in recent weeks. But he hasn't peeled off enough of those Labor people, and particularly women. And I've got to say, when I door knocked in Brisbane and even Parramatta, there were, people were going on about Dutton. They said they didn't like Peter Dutton, particularly women. And I reckon if I went out 3 months ago, they'd be saying they didn't like Albanese. So the Labor attacks on him have been pretty successful. And there'll be a debate after the election as to whether some of them were fair or not, particularly some of these ads sort of suggest he'll abolish Medicare. Well, of course he's not going to do that. But at the end of the day, I think they've been reasonably successful. So, look, what you might see, Pete, is in the outer suburbs, big swings. And you might see Labor, as you get closer to the city, retain a 4% seat like Parramatta easily and win a seat like Brisbane off the Greens, but then lose a seat like Hawke in the Victorian outer suburbs with a 7% margin. You know, but I think Donald Trump and the work from home policy, after both those things sort of amped up, the Trump-Zelensky fight in February, the March 5 work from home policy, they also changed the game, because I heard the Liberals were ahead in their polling in Eden, Monero and Robertson prior to the work from home policy, and that changed after that policy when the Liberal Party basically, whether they like it or not, saying the public servants had to go to work, were calling people who work from home bludgers was the perception.
Yeah, I just want to squeeze this in. I'm getting a wrap, but I just want to ask you about this because Andrew Carswell made this interesting point. He believes when it comes to preferences, One Nation, Trumpet of Patriots, Clive Palmer, you know, that could be as significant as the Greens towards Labor. Could be. Are you there on that argument?
Well, the issue's always been, Pete, that the Greens' preferences go to Labor 70-30, or if on the how to vote card they preference Labor 90-10. It's a very disciplined flow. Whereas Trumpet of Patriots and One Nation can attract a lot of working class vote, for lack of a better term, and they tend to only go 55-45 to the coalition. So that's why the coalition always need a higher primary vote than Labor. And since we're being wrapped, I should point out, very big event, that's why I'm here in Canberra today, the Prime Minister addressing the press club. He'll make a thing of the fact Peter Dutton isn't. Scott Morrison didn't last time. This is probably where he'll get the hardest questions of the campaign because a lot of the senior journalists here in Canberra haven't been on the road. So that is well worth a watch this afternoon.
Okay. You got your question ready, Andrew?
I certainly have.
Yeah. Look forward to seeing it. Don't want to give it away now, that's for sure. Andrew Clennell, good to see you, mate.